Alright, Sistas fans, the final episode review for Season 5. It's going to be episode 22, Too Little, Too Late. And what did I score it? Meh. 3 out of 10. Look, despite the score, this wasn't an awful episode. It was more lackluster. I mean, there were some elements I did like, but not that many. Okay, so let's get into it. I know I'm kind of late on this, but first of all, I have to give a congratulations to the 5 winners of my Zatima Season 2 $500 giveaway. I picked the winners yesterday, and I contacted them last night, and all 5 did respond, and they received their $100 prize each. Their names are on screen now. Congratulations to them. There were well over 450 comments because I posted the short here on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Twitter. There were some amazing answers. I narrowed it down to 15, and it took a while to narrow that down to 5 because, you know, if I had the extra money, because, you know, like I said, taxes ate my ass alive this year, I would have gave like maybe at least 1,000 away because there were some great answers as to what people were looking forward to in Season 2. But hey, if you didn't win, that's okay. I want to do more of these in the future, so keep your eyes out. Keep your eyes open. Yeah, there you go. All right, well, overall, the episode, look, it's Sisters. You all know how I feel about Season 5. And just like with the Oval, well, this episode was worse than the Oval, but it was really disappointing for multiple reasons. Number one, TV Line was given exclusive photos from BET, Viacom, Tyler Perry Studio, whoever sent them. Basically, they were given an exclusive first look. They had the photos with Karen and the fire and whatnot. That shit ain't happened at all. And I did a separate video talking about how it's wrong for these media outlets to create false hype. Now, I did read the TV Line article doing their recap of the finale, and in the finale, in the recap, they mention how, oh, well, that one scene didn't happen, so yeah, I'm assuming that TV Line, they don't know what's in the actual episode. They're just given the promotional material, and they post it. So, yeah, that's on BET or Tyler Perry Studios or whoever cut the episode. That's pretty messed up. Then on top of that, Zatima lying, which I did a separate video on as well. There are so many reasons why this is screwed up. And look, first of all, to the Zatima stands, yes, I was wrong. But I don't take back what I said, though. I don't take back what I said about, you know, Zatima in regards to saying little bastard and whatnot. And, oh, you called her a deadbeat mom and this and that. Okay, yeah, I was wrong that she was a deadbeat mom because she doesn't have kids. But at the same time, I don't understand the reasoning for what she did. Like I said in my other video, if this was the Zatima of old, who does like the Zatima of old was more understanding, caring. She could be stern when needed. And on top of that, she will dish out jabs, but you could tell they were lighthearted and there were moments of like levity and comedy. This just felt completely out of place, wrong, and yet again, Zach, you can't have an episode of Sisters without Zach getting shit on. First by Zatima, then by Karen. And the baby mama, who nobody wanted Zach to have, was the most understanding woman to him in the entire damn season, if we're going to be real about it. She couldn't wait to get that $2,000 a month, and she, just like Karen, she was eager to sign, but, you know, they're like, no. Get a lawyer to look at it, sign it, and we're good to go. So, yeah. Later on in the episode, Heather does come by Zach and Zatima's house. Yeah, I did say Zach and Zatima's because I guess Zatima's decided to stay now. They sit on the couches and basically, you know, the agreement is set like, you know, the way Zach said, $2,000 a month. Sold! Wait, what? Yeah, $2,000 a month. And I want to see my son on the weekends for $2,000 a month. You can see him every day of the week. You see him as much as you want to. Now, I think this was a very clever way of writing it because, you know, usually on shows like this, child actors aren't always in every single episode. They might show up sporadically. if at all. I mean, look at Alex and Brad's children on If Loving You Is Wrong. They disappeared for damn near 5 years, it felt like, until they showed up in the final season, if I'm not mistaken. And by that point, you know, they had grown taller and whatnot. So it's like, damn, we ain't seen them in forever. But it's just really weird that the baby mama everybody hated, the one who was trying to sue Zach, the only one who's been confirmed to be the actual baby mama of Zach, is the most agreeable. $2,000 a month? Huh, okay. I mean, that seems a lot more manageable than... I mean, it's kind of funny how he would offer her $2,000, but then offer Karen $3,000. But keep in mind, Andy did say Zach is being very generous, so there could have been more than $3,000 a month. But regardless, it's just funny to me how Heather really came about as, I'm going to take this fool for everything he got, to $2,000 a month. Hell, she sounds like Danny, because didn't Danny say something like, you know, when she heard Karen say $3,000 a month, I got to get me a kid. All right. So from there, we go over to the beginning of the episode. Like I said, I really don't have much to say here. We spend like the first 7 minutes. Well, not 7 if you minus the theme song recap. I'd say about 4 minutes with the Fatima and Zach thing. And, you know, Zach is just, you know, going off because of the fact that she has a 9-year-old son and doesn't see him. And it just shows the kind of man he really is. And I think that he was even mentioned that he was willing to accept, you know, a 9-year-old son because, you know, that's her child. But at the same time, I don't see the reason for teaching him this lesson. At the core, here's my main problem with it. It goes back to everything I've said about Sistas Season 5 when it comes to the Zatima dynamic. It's always about Fatima's feelings. Zach, you hurt my feelings, or you didn't make me feel good, so I want you to understand what it's like to feel that. This man has been through enough. How much longer is she going to do this shit? And like I said, I'm going to keep saying it. Okay, what about his feelings? The way you talk to him? Slapped him? Well, not slapped him, right? You just like smushed his face and just shoved him back saying, F you. You found out you were wrong about that photo, yet you still haven't apologized. Yeah, I don't hate to say this, but fuck Fatima's feelings. Yes, I said it. But then when we get to Zatima episode 2, I'm like, oh god, this is good stuff. But yeah, not to jump too far ahead, because I think I mentioned this in my other video as well. I think it was the Fatima lying video where I talked about the Joey thing, but I said, and I still stand by this, Zatima episode 2, there's one key scene where Fatima not only recognizes Zach is hurt, but she leaves from the dinner table to follow him to the couch to talk about it. And I'm thinking, it's a shame how this one like 20-second moment from Zatima showed Fatima in a much better light than the entirety of Sistas Season 5. I don't know who this character is. So basically, she did all this to teach him a lesson. And she wants food. I mean, this would be incredibly funny if Fatima hasn't been out of character the entire season. I could have easily made like a Snickers joke here about, Fatima, you're not you when you're hungry. But in any case, we go over to the salon. And I think Aaron's one line here really sums up every episode of Sistas or a Tyler Perry show in general, especially when it comes to finales. I promise I will tell you everything, just not right now. Basically leaving people on the edge of their seats like, okay, we got to wait how long for us to find out the answer. I think a lot of people said this in the comment section of one of my Jennifer videos. Karen should not have let Jennifer left. If anything else, she should have been like, hey, girl, good girl. Hey, my name is Karen. What's your name? Jennifer? Tell me about Aaron here. Wait, John, how about this? Me and you, we need to sit down and talk. Aaron, John, whoever you are, you go on somewhere. We'll talk later, because a woman that's been going off the way Jennifer is seems to be somebody who is definitely hurt, as opposed to somebody that is just a stalker. Keep in mind, what did Karen's mom say about Aaron in season 1? You're the kind of man that will drive a woman to that point, like, you know, his wife killing herself. And Even though we don't know a damn thing about what Aaron or John apparently did to Jennifer, we know it must have been bad because she kept saying he's going to do the same thing, make you feel like you're the only one. Tell her what you did, John. Tell her what you did. And then, you know, Karen and Pam's faces were just like, wow. And then Aaron just says, I'm going to go file a police report. It's not what it looked like. That girl's a stalker. And that's it. I mean, when you know, Aaron was fed up when he went, enough! And then he got the scripture slapped out of his mouth. Literally got the Chris Rock treatment. Yeah, it was disappointing because I thought this scene would have given us a little something. Look, it was an intense scene. The acting, there was no problem with it. My issue is this was no better than the previous episode where we see Jennifer and Aaron in the parking lot and it's just the same dialogue over and over again. Stop, you need to leave. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not leaving. I'm not leaving. You need to go. No. Slap. That's it. I'll tell you about it later. Bye. We get no follow-up. I mean, Pam did say she would get her people to find out something, and she does eventually go back to Karen's back office after, well, I think before, yeah, after Zach left. Yeah, so basically, after lunch, I think it was nighttime when Zach went over to the salon, he and Pam have a fun little scene, and she warns him, hey, Karen ain't in a good mood. He goes back there to apologize. She doesn't give a damn, and she's not signing the papers and basically blames him for everything. You know what, Zach? You've never truly been sorry because if you were, we wouldn't be in this situation now. Essentially blaming everything from when they were together to where they are now on him. Hey, newsflash, Karen. If you had truly been sorry about being wrong, or actually, no. Yeah. If you have been been sorry about being wrong about the credit card crap, then the whole office sex session would not have happened. And you wouldn't be pregnant with Zach's baby. Allegedly. So, essentially, she says, I'm not signing. And if I do decide to sign, I will let you know. And then he mentions her Jekyll and Hyde personality, but she gives no fucks and he leaves. Pam comes in basically, you know, checking on her, telling her you did good today and, you know, what she found out about the Jennifer woman. But Karen didn't want to have, you know, anything. Well, she didn't want to hear anything about the Jennifer situation or anything that happened today at all. Also, earlier we went over to Hayden's office. He's talking with Gary. It was past 5 o'clock and Robin never showed up, never sent in the money. So from there, Hayden just submits the email to everybody about, well, I don't know if the email was sent to like everybody in the company or basically the other partners, but yeah, I'm guessing it probably was the whole, you know, law firm that Robin has been, you know, pushed out, no longer working with us. Pretty much, we like to thank him for his services, but he's no longer needed. They're smug about it, but Gary has just this sneaky suspicion that he didn't go down as easily as, you know, this. Like, Robin must be somewhere not licking his wounds, but trying to regroup on him. And, you know, instead of going out for drinks to celebrate the takeover, Hayden's going to meet with Tamara. Gary warns him, like, did you vet her? Yeah, you know, I got a vetting system. No, you didn't. Yeah, I didn't, but, you know, I got her right where I want her. Yep. And Gary offered to do some research, basically pull a Pam here, but, you know, Hayden didn't want it, so he's about to probably lose his money the same way he was trying to get Zach. Now, from there, we go over to... Dang, that's really about it, aside from Maurice and Calvin leading to the final scene at the airport. And, of course, you know, when the girls go over to... when the girls go to Danny's place, okay, that was at, like, the 22-minute mark, and they're over there until... the 32. Yeah, this was like a 10-minute scene. But okay, let me put it this way. I like the scene because, first of all, I can't remember the last time since season 1, if I'm not mistaken, where all the women were at Danny's place at one time. Because we've seen Karen over there. I think when her and Zach were there to talk in season 3. And then Andy came over, I want to say last season, to talk about, you know, Gary crap. And then Sabrina, you know, pops up sporadically. But this was the first time I think we've seen all of them at once since season 1 at Danny's apartment. And honestly, what can I really say? You know, the ironic part of the promotional photos of the salon fire not being in this episode yet, even though the salon didn't get, you know, set on fire or anything on screen, that is. Danny literally lit these women up. The only thing that got extra crispy in this episode were Sabrina, Andy, and Karen. Now, what can I really say aside from the girls talking about how they love and care about Danny, which I believe? It's just that Danny doesn't want to hear it. She feels like it's an attack on her as opposed to trying to be helpful. And Danny, she can dish it out, but she can't take it. Yes, she's no nonsense. She speaks her mind. She will tell it like it is. The other women will tell her to hush up. And then like 30 episodes later, they'll be wanting to give the sister that's in trouble the same advice Danny gave, but in a half-baked, beating around the bush way. And then they're like, Danny, why don't you say something? Well, I said the same shit 50 episodes ago, but y'all told me to hush up. So, yeah. Danny will give great advice. But when her sisters come to her in love to try to talk her out of her current hot girl summering it up. Look, she is a grown woman. Yes. But she's being incredibly stupid. Reckless seems like too good of a word. It's like you should know better than what you're doing. Now, we do learn apparently about a traumatic experience from college with some frat boys. You know, she possibly would have ended up assaulted or, you know, taken advantage of, because at that point she was insecure about a lot of things about, like, you know, her weight, her direction in life, this, that, and the third. So she opted to get drunk at a party, and then things apparently got so bad that things could have really got out of hand. Yet we don't go into detail. Again, folks, we need a freaking flashback episode. Damn. Give us a flashback. Sheesh. All right. But in any case, Danny doesn't want to hear it. She just, I don't even need to break it down. She literally just talks about every single woman in her apartment, gives their body count, and when they refuse to leave, Danny bounces. Simple as that. I mean, they even talk about how, you know, get back with Preston. Oh, Preston's, you know, was damn near perfect. No. Nuh-uh. Ain't no need of trying to vouch for getting back with Preston. Her body count? Nah. And the fact that Preston, well, speaking of Preston, he randomly calls Danny towards the end of the episode saying that he's left some stuff at her apartment. She don't want to hear it, though. And my question to Preston is this. First of all, where's Mindy at? She clearly was not in your vehicle. Secondly, why are you talking about going to Danny's to get some stuff when you have your potential fiance to be in the area? Like I said, love Trinity, love the actor. I used to love the character, but I have no idea what Tyler Perry's doing. Oh yeah, you know what? Your attitude's gotten really old. So has this stunt you've been playing, Preston. I have no idea how you're being written. It makes no sense whatsoever. So Danny's like, I'll just leave your shit in a box and you come pick it up. And that's pretty much it. She's just driving, you know, to blow off some steam. From there, we go over to the final things to talk about, which I do believe are the Maurice and Calvin situation. And when Maurice confronts Q, I did an entire video on this about the showdown and the reasoning behind it. Yeah, first of all, what the hell, Maurice? Oh yeah, also I missed it. Gary did talk with Andy real quick, asking if they would see each other tonight. She said, I'll let you know, which obviously means yes. And Fatima came up and asked if everything was okay. And, you know, yeah, Andy's still entertaining this clown despite everything that's happened up to this point. And thankfully, Danny called her ass out for it. But like I mentioned before, she can dish it out but can't take it. Then Fatima's gloating about the lesson she just taught Zach, which again I did not like. All right, so Maurice first of all, kudos to him for apologizing for the way he acted. Yes, thank goodness for that, because the way he acted last week, man, he would got beat with that golf club like Q, assuming there's any golf clubs left. 2 reasons this is stupid as hell on both sides. Even Calvin was stupid in the scene. All right. Maurice, because He's not the type of bitch whose feelings or heart you hurt and get away with it sky-free. Bail be damned. He's going to go out there, vigilante style, and reclaim his car, all of his stolen shit from Q, and get a confession. Even though Calvin says, look, you are on bail right now. You and Sabrina will take care of Q when you go to the court hearing. And also, when Calvin went, that African bailed you out. And Maurice says, what do you mean? Why do you keep saying that African? Well, that's what he is. That's freaked up on so many levels because of the fact, and I mentioned this in my other video about Q and Maurice. I said, for a man who gets bent out of shape when people say certain things about him or make assumptions because of how he carries himself, how he dresses, I think that's pretty fucked up for you to keep addressing Bio as that African. Because I feel like that's derogatory, regardless of that being his nationality and whatnot. That African. For one, brother to call another one that is really messed up. Yes, I mean, Bio and Calvin did not start off on the wrong foot. Yeah, just like with Aaron and Zach, you can see why there's no love lost between these two. But like I said before, the way that Calvin says it with so much venom, and it's like, I'm not trying to make a mountain out of a molehill here, but it's just the hypocrisy of how Calvin has been written. The day after the fight with Bio in his restaurant, Calvin went to the bank to, talk with Sabrina. And the thing was, I think that it was Danny or somebody that said, oh, the reason Calvin did that was to prove his manliness in front of Sabrina. But Calvin said, no, it wasn't because of that. It's because if somebody says something I don't like, I want to, confront him about it. Basically meaning that he's just going to keep getting into fights over stupid shit. And you didn't like Bio making an assumption about you because of how you dressed. Or if anybody says anything like, oh, oh, Calvin's a sissy. Oh, he wears panties. He does, this, that, and the third. You know how bent out of shape he gets when Danny clowns him. And you will start a fight over that. But you have the audacity to just say that African, oh, he's a fraud, funny. He's probably fake, that money didn't come through. His check didn't clear. Oh, you're going to see that African again, huh? No, that Calvin, that's fucked up. Okay, that really is fucked up. All right, so Maurice doesn't give a damn because I looked this up. And, okay, there are different state laws about bail and whatnot. And then, of course, that's the real world. But then when you look at what we're looking at, this is a Tyler Perry show where writing does whatever the hell it wants to. Based on my research, a lot of states follow this rule. Let's say you have a cousin. Your cousin, robs a store. Bail is $900. You pay the $900. Your cousin gets out on bail, but they still got to go to court. They go to court, you get your $900 back. If they get rearrested prior to the court hearing, like let's say within 24 hours, cousin steals a car, gets caught, gets arrested, you don't get that money back. That $900 is gone. Q being confronted by Maurice, and let's say if Q was the one who got shot, it's going to look sketchy as hell for Maurice to be in that position if Q's on the ground bleeding out, because it looks like they're meeting under the terminal or something like that. Like, I don't really see anybody around. There's no cars. It's like the sketchiest part of an airport I've ever seen on TV. And Maurice could get rearrested, meaning that Bio is out $1.5 million. Yeah, he's probably going to be like, Sabrina, you are going to marry me. Yes, you'll be one of my wives. And then that'll be that. This was incredibly stupid for Maurice to do. Just because I'm not like you, Calvin. Okay, now going to Calvin, and aside from that African comment, his stupid self was like, Maurice, you need to let this go. Okay, my biggest complaint. Okay, what? Calvin, call the cops. Jeremy, Calvin, even if he called the cops on Q for taking Maurice's car, it's not his car. It's basically the same logic as, haha, Calvin, your name isn't on the lease, so you can't have me thrown out. Well, Maurice is out of jail. He's learned, I think, from Sabrina that Q took his car. Why doesn't Maurice just simply call the police? Why doesn't he just call the police? I mean, I'm not vouching for Q or trying to defend Q here, but I wouldn't be surprised. And I mentioned this last week when they got home and everything was gone. I said, maybe Q wasn't even the one that took all that stuff. Perhaps, you remember, when he invited all those crackheads and whatnot into the apartment, Q wasn't stealing anything. He was just, giving stuff away. So, I mean, to get more drugs, like, hey, man, take that TV or, take that microwave or take this or that from Calvin's room or Maurice's room. Take these mugs and whatnot. So he could have probably contacted some people like, yo, give me some more drugs. And that place we had that party at, you're free to break in, get what you want. Because remember, he could have been at work or something and texted these people, and that would have been it. Or, before he went to Danny's, he could have been like, hey, here's the address, go get what you want, but make sure you, give me some more drugs. So even if Maurice called the police, I highly doubt they'll get their stuff back, But it would have been smarter than going the route that he's currently going, because this makes no damn sense. I want to be honest here, even though this is really all on Maurice for allowing Q to come in and not calling the police station initially to not make it where he's going to be the residency for Q while he serves out his ankle bracelet time and whatnot. I mean, you would think that he could probably sue the police for that. I don't know. But then again, that would make too much sense in this show. And I'm giving the writing too much credit of what, well, I'm not giving it credit because I'm talking about what the writing could and should have been, which would have been 10 times better than what it was. But the final scene, he goes to the airport. Like I said, you just go up to this guy in what looks like, your PJs or something on your own, expecting him to just give you the keys. And the thing that makes Q so annoying, because yes, there are people like this in real life, but the way he's written is so annoying. Imagine if somebody, I don't know, held you at gunpoint. Like, let's say you're randomly, in the parking lot somewhere, and they steal $800 from you. And then later that same day in Walmart, I'm just making up a scenario here. In Walmart, you encounter this person, you confront them about it, and then they act like you're an inconvenience to them. Look, I just had a long day. I don't want to talk about this. What the hell? And then he pulls out a gun, and thankfully things go the way I predicted of Maurice actually fighting back, which I thought was pretty cool. But then they struggle, and the gun goes off, and that's the end of the episode. And this sucked. It should have been the salon fire that was the finale. So, yeah, that's all I got to say, even though I talked for 30 minutes, so I had a lot to say. But the finale was kind of a whole lot of nothing. I did like seeing all the girls together. That was great. Didn't like Fatima in the episode. And I did like at the end where Heather, that thing kind of just resolved itself. And Zach did mention the whole situation about Karen not signing. And Fatima's like, yeah, I kind of knew that was going to happen. The Maurice stuff was stupid. The Preston stuff, bro, just leave Danny alone. Just cut your law. I mean, you paid 3 months rent at that damn apartment. And you got kicked out after like 3 days back in what, season 3? You can accept your... What did you leave? Did you leave an extra pair of pants? Because that was the thing. When he stayed with Danny, he had nothing. He had his truck, and that was it. So him leaving shit behind, just let it go, man. It's like with Karen trying to get Zach to come to the salon to see her because she found his old set of keys to her apartment. Like, he got a whole house. And even though Karen didn't know it at the time, a whole fiance. He don't care about your rinky-dink set of keys. Just let it go, Preston, man. Damn. All right, that's all I got. So let me know what your thoughts on the finale were. I've said it time and time again. Please, Sistas Season 6, we do not need that anytime soon. Wait until, like, August. for all I care. I think we all need a Sistas break. I know not everybody feels the same way, but I just feel like we're just getting a whole lot, but a whole lot of nothing when it comes to Sistas. I'll do like a season 5 overview video probably next week, but what's really changed this season, aside from making the characters look worse? I don't think there's any like one redeeming quality about the only thing I will give the season credit for, Tyler Perry giving us a scene that represented 3 different shows. All the Queen's Men, Zatima, and Sistas. You know, when Andy, Angela, Fatima, and Madam were all at Zach and Fatima's house. That's pretty much it. Everything else was just a damn waste of time. So thanks so much for tuning in. Like and subscribe. And thanks for, rolling with me throughout the entire season. Sorry about no live streams. Wi-Fi just not working well at night. I don't know why. But like I said, hopefully the show's gone for a while, so I don't have to worry about doing live streams like that. And congratulations again to the 5 $100 winners from the Zatima giveaway. But hey, remember, for the next 4 weeks, we have Zatima episodes. Episodes 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, before it goes on a mid-season hiatus. So make sure you keep up with the channel, because just because Sistas and the Oval are gone, I still got a few videos to do on both shows, and I'm still going to be pumping out content. So make sure you stick around, and talk to you in the next video.